What's up, everybody, and welcome to Against the Fence. As you can see, today we are joined with Parker Porter from the UFC's heavyweight division. He's got 14 wins and 8 losses, 4-3 in the UFC. He's fighting out of West Hartford, Connecticut, in the heavyweight division, as I said before. Parker, how are we doing?
I'm doing great, man. I am happy to be here, finally connect with you guys, and looking forward to having some fun about this.
Yeah, good stuff.
This is it. It's all about a bit of fun on this side. We bring the UFC fighters, and then we got the whole audience, the community out there. They're gonna be bringing some of the questions as well. But yeah, man, we're just gonna get to peel off a couple of layers and get to know a little bit about what you're about. You're in the gym now, right? You sort of said we just caught up before.
Do. Yeah, I'm actually here right now at my gym. I just ran and picked my kids up from school. Brought them straight over here. They're gonna hang out for a little bit. We got about 30 minutes before the kids' jiu-jitsu class starts, and we're gonna jump off and start teaching that.
Nice.
All right, super. So we'll try and get you away as quick as possible. If you guys are watching live, do get your questions in on the chats, and hopefully we'll get time to them in just a second. Don't worry. We're not gonna avoid you guys at all. Of course, you guys are the reason why we're here to do this. Of course. Absolutely. Let's roll with it.
All right, cool. So let's get into the first questions I had here. Because first of all, I kind of want to say congratulations. Parker. Honestly, it's
thank you.
Appreciate your first UFC finish. Must have been pretty exciting. I actually saw your fight interview with Rogan, of course, afterwards. You're holding back a lot of emotion within that, but you look good. In absolute great shape. Let's be honest.
Thank you, man.
What sort of improvements?
I feel good about it.
Yeah. What kind of improvements do you think you've been making lately? Because you moved so well in that fight against Braxton, and you kind of seem like a new evolution of yourself.
Well, I mean, a big part of that evolution was really just getting back to a leaner weight and being able to move the way that I know I can move. Everybody's always like, "Oh, you're so athletic, you're so athletic, you're so athletic," but I just lately haven't felt like I've been able to move the way that I know I could.
Right.
So dropping about 30 pounds made a big difference in how quick I could be, getting myself on offense, working my way into defense, reacting to things. It just helped to amplify everything that we had already been working on. And really step that level up. And then obviously I just, you feel better when you're a little bit leaner and looking better with your shirt off.
I tell you, man, I had to hold myself back. I was literally just like, this guy.
Yeah, I know. And like at the rate that you're going, surely you must be thinking about another stab at light heavyweight, maybe.
Hey.
No, everybody's like, oh, light heavyweight. I'm like, man, I'm still 250 pounds. Light heavyweight is far, far away. That is just not happening right
now. I mean, your former opponent, Chris Daukaus, is doing it. So,
Yeah, he's a little younger than I am.
Oh, okay.
I just turned 38 last month, and I'm plenty happy and set in my ways with my relationship with food.
Fair enough, mate. Don't blame you. I'll be the exact same way.
This is it. This guy's got a relationship with food.
Exactly.
It's a bit of me, It's a whole love affair when you talk about food. I'm telling you, I love that stuff.
Nonstop.
Yeah.
Love hate.
Just out of curiosity, what's one of your favorites? What's your kicking back, enjoying yourself?
Like a favorite food?
Yeah.
My go-to. I just had some last night. Fish tacos.
Ooh, fish tacos. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not really
love a good fish taco, and then of course the very first thing that I grabbed when I got back from the last fight. There's this place called Bird Code right where I live in West Hartford.
Yeah.
And they do some of the best southern fried chicken sandwiches you've ever had.
That's the guy. Okay. I'll tell you what, we gotta get out to the stateside.
Mate.
When we do,
don't.
We're literally basing our stops on food joints.
Yeah, there's nothing healthy about it whatsoever, and it's delicious.
Hey, we're coming for you. We're gonna do some serious damage when we get out there. But look, let's get back to some of the fight stuff, right? So, because of course, watching some of your last fight, we did notice, of course, DC made a comment in the opening minutes of the round. It didn't really last too long, of course. Again, really great performance from yourself. But he said because you're a little bit lighter, you can take a bit of a punch better. So, just on that sort of fitness regime you're on at the moment and the sort of trajectory you're on, do you feel like a difference in that fight than you have in previous fights? Or is it just the fact that Braxton didn't hit as hard as you might have thought he did?
it actually, up until rewatching that and hearing him say that in a commentary of the fight, um, it didn't really occur to me that I might actually be able to punch better when I'm weighing less.
Mm.
But it makes a lot of sense because now I'm not as heavy on my feet. I'm not as planted anymore. I can move. So there's a little bit more give when I do get caught. So it makes sense when he said that, and I was like, oh, actually, yeah, that's probably exactly what's going on there.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah, nice.
It's interesting. I thought it might work a little bit different. Some people go down a weight class. I mean, when you're talking a whole weight class here, and it might, the weight cut can take a toll on them as well, isn't it? But yeah, no, it certainly worked well for you. I mean, it just seems to be all benefits. All benefits.
Yeah, nothing but greatness about it. Like that was it was something that I really wanted to work on once I actually got signed to the UFC. And I just kind of kept getting pushed back and not made a priority until after the Tafel fight. And then I was like, all right, something's got to change. Let's get after this. Hard.
Yeah, no, it's true. And on the flip side, then it was Braxton Smith's UFC debut, and there was talks of perhaps maybe he had some jitters going in. But what would your advice be to him going forward?
I lost my debut against Darkus. Sometimes it's a short notice fight. It's one of those situations where when you're chasing that dream of getting into the UFC, when they come calling, if it doesn't feel like it's the right time or you're not quite ready, you don't say no. You get your foot in the door and then you collect yourself. You do the best you can with what you've got.
Yeah.
Collect yourself and reformulate your plan and work towards the next one. Make sure you've got all your ducks in a row for the next one. And that would probably be my best piece of advice for him.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any truth to it or not, but I did hear that up until probably about a month before we fought, that he was pretty much self-trained. So the fact that if that has any truth to it whatsoever, that is extremely impressive. And the fact that he's with a team now and he's going to be able to start being coached and trained means that he has a tremendous amount of potential and he shouldn't do anything besides look forward and keep working.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's good advice there. Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. I mean, you yourself, you've got some developments lately too. I mean, you recently got your black belt. Was it last year or something like that? You got a black belt. And you've improved a little bit on the ground game too.
I got my black belt in December.
Uh-huh.
Yep, I got my black belt in December, and I've just really been working a lot more on my wrestling. So it's just been a lot more focus on my ground game and my grappling abilities, and really trying to blend the striking with the grappling, and being able to dictate wherever the fight goes.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Because on that point as well, because you seem to be having a lot of improvements, not just the black belt, not just that sort of grappling. I mean, your cardio is getting better, of course, and if that wasn't already a weapon that you wielded before, given a chance, what sort of things would you want to show us next time out? What could we kind of look forward to see from you next? Because you got your first knockout already in the UFC.
I wouldn't mind getting my first submission win. That would be a nice goal to have next. Or like a full-on KO instead of just a TKO, instead of the ground and pound, like actually catching somebody with that one touch,
one and done,
holding them up.
Yeah,
that would be those are the next two big goals. Hi, Bob.
Love to see it. Love to see it.
Hey,
what's up?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Say hi, Charlie.
Hey, nice to meet you, Charlie.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, bless him.
Is that a football you got there? Is that a football?
Play with the boys. I'll be out there in a minute.
Man.
Is he quite the soccer player, is he?
He is. He's already in class, doing practice and tryouts and stuff.
Oh, sweet.
He's got his older brothers, his twin older brothers play on the travel team around here.
Nice. I tell you what, if because Ash, the third one of us, he's obviously got a little lad as well, and he's great at football too. So. He brings them up here sometimes. We're kicking the ball around outside.
Yeah, give you a run for your money, that's for sure.
Yeah, he will. Yeah, he's investing in the future.
I always have to put a pause on it when I'm talking to anybody from outside the U.S. when they start talking about football, because I'm used to playing fantasy football. That's what I do.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
Soccer.
There you go.
So, soccer. It was soccer over here, but like it is what it is. It makes more sense to call it football.
Yeah. America, we could just call it American football over usually, but do you know what? A good point we did touch on just a second ago. But it was next time out. When do you reckon we'll see you next? Because last time we saw and heard from you, you was talking about, you know, you was ending your contract, looking to get another one signed. You've been campaigning, of course, for UFC 292, the Boston card, which would be quite exciting.
Yeah.
You know, your light heavyweight
I'm
debut.
still hoping for that.
Yeah, your light heavyweight debut against John Johnson.
Not the light heavyweight debut, man. Yeah, I'm staying. Yeah, against John Jones. We're both going back down the light heavyweight.
No, what I'm trying to say is
no, absolutely not, man.
Right.
I'm sure he spent most of his life at light heavyweight, and I'm sure he's really enjoying being a heavyweight right now, as he well should and deserves to. But no, I'm still pushing to get onto that Boston card. You know, we're waiting on the contract to come through, and you know, that's my hope, to stay busy. We're back in the gym. We just watched some film today to work on a couple more things and really come up with our curriculum, if you will, for the next camp and putting it into practice. So we're going to be ready for August in Boston if that happens. Otherwise, you know, whatever comes next, you know, whatever Mick and Sean and the rest of the brass decide is a good matchup for us.
Okay, well, I mean, here at Against the Fans, we like to throw out some matchups ourselves. You know, we do a little homework, and you know, we've got some exciting potential options. So let us know which of these three. Okay, which of these three would you prefer? Okay, Muhammad Usman.
Okay.
Chris Barnett.
Okay.
Or Jake Collier.
I like all three of those, actually. I think Barnett would be the most fun and the most entertaining for the fans.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob.
Yeah.
Huggy.
I think Barnett would be the most entertaining for the fans because he's a character, man. He's a showman. He likes to go out there and do the flashy, fancy stuff. You know, I'm getting a little more comfortable with doing that kind of stuff myself. So I think that would probably be the one I like the most.
That's cool.
For the entertainment value, especially.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, I mean, he just come off that knockout win against Jake Collier back in September.
So he's got to be due another fight soon. So look, you know, if the UFC get calling, be like, you know, and they ask you any names, that's the name to drop in there.
It's a good one, actually. I'm glad you said that. It's a pretty good one.
Thank you.
Jake Collier is coming off a bit of a free fight skid at the moment himself. So
perhaps maybe not.
He does need he needs a winnable one. He really needs a winnable one. But that's should be
I don't know that I'll be that winnable.
Yeah, exactly. That was a compliment to you. I don't think it's a good fight for him. But then, you know, you got someone like Muhammad Usman, quite a challenge. That one, 4-fight win streak at the moment, which is really good.
No, I agree. And I like that fight too. Those are all three of those guys are tough. You know, like anybody at the heavyweight class can catch you with something and put you away in the blink of an eye if they catch you just right. But I like all three of those fights as an option.
Yeah.
But I like the Barnett one the most for entertainment value for what you guys get to, you know, the wow factor and the flashy stuff. So
yeah, no, I'd agree on that. I think it's quite an exciting one, to be fair. And I would certainly look forward to that. And I love watching you fight as well because I mean, I'll depict you as a bit of that sort of gritty fighter. I mean, you've outworked pretty much every opponent you've had at heavyweight, and it's just impressive to see that you're able to do that at heavyweight.
Thank you.
You know, usually and that's why you're such a good fighter to watch. You know, you've got that grit, and it's hard to put your finger on a quality like that. You know what I mean?
That's why I always I like to tell people I come from good, durable stock.
The right areas. All right, let's move on to some fan questions. Then, kicking off the night, we've got Nolan Zebra in the house who says,
"What's up, Nolan?
What does Parker feel the main differences are between Bellator and the UFC, especially behind the scenes?" Ooh,
good question.
So I never really got to fight on a main card for Bellator, so I can't really compare the behind the scenes stuff for Bellator. Everything I ever did for them was local to where I live, right here in Connecticut. Whereas with the UFC, you know, the production value, they're flying me out there a week before the fight. They're taking care of me. They're putting everything up. You know, my first couple of fights were at the Apex Center in Las Vegas, so we had access to the Performance Institute and being able to go and get physical therapy and the training and everything that we needed right there for, you know, free of charge through the UFC. So I think, you know, that the UFC has a few more bells and whistles than Bellator does, and their experience with the production value so far from what I've seen is on another level.
Oh, there you go, Nolan. I think you can't get any better answer than that.
That's good, yeah. I wonder if Nolan's thinking about getting in there himself. Just wanted to know because I was looking to see where I'll be going if I get.
He's doing his homework to see which way he's going.
Exactly.
That's it.
What other questions we got?
Okay, so we got Ash who says, Parker, if you could fight one fighter, who would it be? Just anyone?
Just one person?
Just one person?
Like ever again?
Maybe.
Is it all the UFC or is it only MMA or is it like in boxing or kickboxing?
You could get quite.
Because there's one person I could think of that I would love 5 minutes in the cage with, but they don't fight.
It's down at the guy at the grocery store who gives me a mean mug every single day, and he really grinds my gears. That's what I want. So Jeffrey was your name tag. It's definitely Jeffrey. Comes to get it,
Must be. Yeah, come and get it. No, I don't really have any one particular person. I got asked before if there was anybody I want to call out, and I never once in my life called anybody out for a fight or anything like that. So I've never been one to call anybody out, but I've also never been one to back down. So
yeah, fair enough. I mean, have you ever encountered anyone in the octagon that's been genuinely terrified you in any way, shape, or form?
No.
Yeah.
No. All right.
Fearless.
No. Yeah. I would say, ironically at the time, I wasn't even afraid of John Jones at the time because, nobody really knew who he was. And he doesn't, at the time, he was even smaller than he is now, obviously. And he didn't have a very menacing appearance to him. I'd say probably the most intimidating person I've ever actually been in the cage with was Gabriel Gonzaga.
Oh, yeah.
The guy just has this look about him where he's just like, I'm ready to literally kill you at any point.
Love that. Okay, quick one because we got to get you out of here. Breezy says, what the life of a fighter really like from your position now living it? Interesting.
What is my life really like now? It's hectic, man. I'm a full-time dad. I got a husband. I got all the same bills and mortgage and everything to pay for my house. Started a business. I got a business to run here. I got these crazy little kids running around, making me nuts.
What's up, Charlie?
Keeping me on my toes. Yeah, it's really not too much different. The biggest, I almost like to say that I'm actually more of a stay-at-home dad than I am an actual professional fighter, and I just kind of moonlight as an MMA fighter.
Love that.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Because we got to get you out here pretty soon. We'll ask you one particular question about. Oh, he's frozen on a very big smile there. That's
definitely got me in the mind.
Are you still with us, Parker?
Oh, that is a genuine freeze.
It's a genuine freeze.
I thought he was just happy to see me.
Okay. Look at that. That's fantastic.
It froze out.
His battery's not died.
Oh, I hope it's not the battery.
What
are we looking at here?
Well, so far he's still on that side. So, we're just about to ask Parker who he's got between Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler, which is the tough series which is upcoming next week. So it's kind of a must-ask question.
That was a very important question.
Oh, man.
That one we needed to get.
We got him. Oh, well, I guess that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, we're going to get a few of your questions in.
He's probably going to refresh and come back, like Dave.
Yeah, David Grant actually did that.
He did,
the last one or two ago, whatever it was.
That would have been a good question. I mean, who wins between Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler, the next big thing to happen in our UFC calendars, from a fighter's perspective as well. I mean, it's one thing to pick a fight, but to get in the cage, someone who's in there taking a punch and knows what it's like, and working on his wrestling. So you probably know how tough it is.
We've asked a few people already, and we've got that video coming out later on this week. So you guys got to make sure to stay tuned for that. And so apologies, Angus, for not getting to your question as well.
That was a good one. Let me hear it.
Typical.
Which one?
Would you rather fight one Ngannou-sized duck or 50 duck-sized Ngannous? Which is always a fun question here on the.
It's not Ngannou anymore. It'd be John Jones.
It would be, I know, but
did he not change it?
He didn't change it.
Oh,
no.
Angus slipping. Should have been John Jones-sized duck. or 50,000? Because I don't think we asked that question yet. I'm actually keen to know.
I know, but it's such a shame.
You might even just say, been there, done it already.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point, actually.
Will we get him back in? I don't know. So
guess
we're just in. We've got the producers in my ear. Okay, we don't see
him yet.
In our sites, which means we're gonna have to go to wrap it up, guys. You've been great, and honestly, it's thanks for the questions that come through. It's been awesome. If we do get Parker back again, then we will be doing a game with him, and we'll do a little recorded piece so we can get you guys that question answered and the other questions answered, and just a little bit of an extra bit as well. So do stay tuned to the channel. If you haven't liked or subscribed already, do so these extra bits of content will be accessible to you when we do release them. But as I said before, Fighters tend to jump back in after they lose signal, and so we can always catch a bit of content at a later stage and feed it to you then. What we got coming up, JK?
We've got this week, as I said, we have got that video that's coming out where we spoke to a couple of guys at the UFC London this past year, asking them who's going to win out of Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler, and which one of the two is going to be the better coach. So do stick around and make sure you've got the notifications bell rang on the channel for that.
But otherwise, it's a non-UFC week.
Yeah, pretty much. We've got no event. And of course, next week, we've got Amir Bazi, who will be taking on Kai France in next weekend's main event. So do stick around for that as well. So lots coming on your way.
And a tough show with Ash. He'll be delivering that to you guys as well to follow the preceding week. So there's a lot of content to come after the break. So that's why you should always like and subscribe. But you guys have been great. I've had a good time. Parker evidently had a great time. We saw a big smile on his face before he left. We left him in a good place on an absolute high. But we'll get some more questions and I said some more recorded content to you guys down the line too. But for me, that's all. Peace out. A lot of love. Thanks for being here. And that was our quick Q&A with Parker Porter.
All right. Thanks, guys. Ciao, ciao.
Peace out.